Now it's working?
Yep. So first things first, fluid levels. There's 3 types of fluid levels. There's engine oil. Check with dipstick, make sure it's full to the proper level. Power steering fluid, also dipstick, make sure it's full to proper operating level. You don't have to check it, you just have to point, explain that you know what to look for.
Okay.
Good. And then the next one is the coolant. So we'll go to the other side. So coolant or antifreeze, make sure proper operating level, check through the glass, never open when hot or running. Next, belts. You can see here, belts, good condition, no crack, no frays, not burnt, not damaged, not missing belts. 1/2 to 3/4 inch play when you check in the middle of the belt. Anywhere in the middle, all the belts are there. Alternator, fan belt, AC belt, all there, not damaged or missing.
Speak slowly, brother.
Yep. So the next is air compressor. I'm going to skip to alternator. So alternator, right here, securely mounted, no crack, no damage, good condition, no missing or loose nuts, bolts, or parts. Wiring, not cut, not damaged, not frayed, no exposed or burnt wiring, securely mounted, and alternator is belt driven. Next, I'll skip to the water pump. So the water pump, securely mounted, no crack, no damage, no leaks, no missing or loose nuts, bolts, or parts. Good condition, works properly, and also belt driven. So on this side, both alternator and water pump belt driven. And there's no fluid leak. All hoses are secured with clamp or housings. No fluid leaks, no hoses leaks, no fluid leaks. And we check on the bottom, make sure there's no puddles, no drips, no leaks. And we'd be looking for like antifreeze, oil or diesel or any kind of water leaks. No leaks. Good. So okay, next. So I go back to air compressor. Air compressor right here, securely mounted, no crack, no damage, no missing or loose nuts, bolts, or parts. Good condition, works properly, and gear driven. Make sure you say gear driven.
Okay.
And no leaks, no, because it has air. It's air compressor. Next, power steering pump. So, and the water pump and power steering pump are not on the paper.
Yeah, power steering.
Yeah, on the paper, it says air compressor and alternator. It doesn't say water pump or power steering pump, but you need to say them. So power steering pump right here is this thing that goes right there, right here. So right here where I'm pointing, that thing that attached to the engine block, that is a power steering pump. So make sure you point. Power steering pump, securely mounted, no crack, no damage, no leaks, no missing or loose nuts, bolts, or parts. Good condition and work properly, and also gear driven. Make sure you say gear driven. So air compressor and power steering pump, gear driven. And hoses. So I go back to fluid leaks and hoses. Fluid leaks and hoses. Also on this side, no cracks, no damage, no drips, no leaks.
This one?
Yeah, no. Fluid leaks. So no drips, no leaks, no puddles. Everything working properly. Next, steering box and hoses. So power steering box. This is the power steering box or power steering gearbox, securely mounted, no crack, no damage, no missing or loose nuts, bolts, or parts, good condition, working properly. So I'll repeat this. Power steering box or power steering gearbox, securely mounted, no crack, no damage, no missing or loose nuts, bolts, or parts, good condition and works properly. No drips, no leaks. You don't have to say nothing else, no gear driven, no belt driven, because these two are, and those two are belt driven, gear driven. And this, it's driven by the pressure, the oil pressure. You don't have to say it, but it's good to know.
What is this thing?
You don't have to worry about it. Only worry about air compressor and power steering pump. On that side, alternator and water pump and belts. Belts, hoses. So hoses, all no leaks, no drips, all secure, and that's all you worry about. And then just some of this stuff, and that's it. It's really easy.
Okay.
People make it more complicated than it needs to be.
And
So-
what is that one?
Coolant. So you need to do three types of fluid levels: alternator, water pump, and then air compressor, power steering pump. And then the rest is very easy because it says everything. So steering box and hoses, steering box and hoses, steering linkage, so steering box and hoses, no drips, no leaks, no cuts, whatever, no, everything good condition.
And this is spring?
Yeah, spring. So spring, but you have to go in order so you don't jump around too much, so, or else you might forget. So steering box and hoses, I got steering box and hoses. Steering linkage is two. One, so this, not too much play, and two, all of this.
Okay.
So this
is a steering linkage.
and this, yeah, steering linkage. So steering linkage, all the moving parts lubricated and greased properly.
Okay.
No crack, no damage, no illegal welding, no missing or loose nuts, bolts, or parts. U-joint. This is U-joint. See how it goes? So it moves. See, that's U-joint.
Okay.
No foreign objects in U-joint. Also lubricated properly, good condition, works properly. Castle nut. So castle nut right here. So castle nut looks like a castle. So castle nut and cotter pin is in place. Also, there's two. You don't have to know, but just make sure you say no crack, no damage, no missing or loose any bolts or parts, no missing castle nut or cotter pin. Also, castle nut and cotter pin right here on the other side. Works properly, good condition. Done. So next is the spring and our airbags. We have spring up front, so spring leaf right here, securely mounted. No crack, no damage, no missing spring leaves, and not shifted. Make sure it's straight, parallel, not shifted. So these two are not shifted. Next, spring mount, securely mounted, no crack, no damage, no missing nuts, bolts, or parts. Bushing is in place, good condition. U-bolts are in place, no crack, no damage. So U-bolts go like this right here, like a U. No crack, no damage, no missing U-bolts or parts or nuts. Spacer and saddle in place, good condition, works properly. Done. So next is the shock absorber. Shock absorber goes up and down right here. No crack, no damage, no leaks because it has oil in there. It's hydraulic, so no leaks, no missing nuts, bolts, or parts. Good condition.
Slowly.
So I'll skip down to the brakes from right here, from the shock absorber down to the brakes, and come back to the driver door and mirror. So brakes, this is a slack adjuster right here. So slack adjuster, this part, and push rod. This is the push rod. It goes in the brake chamber. So brake chamber right here. Slack adjuster, and push rod. So push rod right here goes in. So when the brakes are released, not applied, released, pushed in, released, there should be no more than 1 inch pull. When the wheels are choked, brakes released, no more than 1 inch pull on the slack adjuster and push rod. So this is the hoses and lines. Hoses, no cuts, no damage, no bulges, no leaks. Housings in place. Lines, no cuts, not damaged, not missing, no burnt wiring. Good condition, works properly. So we got the slack adjuster, push rod, brake chambers, and hoses and lines. Next, drums, linings, and pads. So the drum right here goes all the way around. So drum, lining is right here. This lining.
Okay, this is drum.
Yeah, so lining is right here. You can feel it. It's right the edge of the drum. That helps so
they say drum.
Yeah, and then the actual brake pads is in here. See this right here? So pad should be no less than 1/4 inch thickness right here. Lining is on the edge, this little edge right here. All the way around helps keep the pads from flying out. So the lining, the actual drum, all the way around. Drum, lining, and then pad is in here. So pad, no less than 1/4 inch between here. Good. So we are done with the brakes. Next, we go on to the driver door and mirror. All you have to say is the driver door and mirror bracket. So driver door, no crack, no damage, no holes. Opens, closes securely, latches securely. Door seal is intact, not damaged or missing, all around. Hinges secure, work properly, no missing nuts or bolts.
What is this name? Hinges?
Hinges, yeah.
Okay.
Hinges, good. Driver window, open, goes up and down, works properly. Door locks securely, holds securely. Mirror bracket, that's all you need to say for the mirror. Mirror bracket, no missing bolts or nuts.
Okay.
You don't have to say the type of nut, just no missing bolts and nuts. Done. So we're gonna continue. So after driver door and mirror is the fuel tank and cap. So fuel tank, securely mounted. No crack, no damage, no holes, no drips, no leaks.
Okay.
Fuel tank, securely mounted, fitted, no shift. Make sure you say no shifted. Cap opens and closes securely, and safety chain is intact. So it makes it so it doesn't, you don't lose the cap. So opens, closes securely, good. Next, steps, clear of obstruction, securely mounted, no missing nuts, bolts, or parts, and clean, not slippery. So clean, not slippery. You don't want it slippery, because that's a number one reason truckers get injured, is because they either come out wrong and slip, or the steps are dirty and they slip and fall and hurt themselves. Number one reason truckers get injured. So next we have drive shaft. So drive shaft and exhaust system. So drive shaft, securely mounted, no crack, no damage, no missing loose nuts, bolts, or parts. The U-joint part, no obstruction, no foreign objects in the U-joint, lubricated properly, no crack, no damage, not twisted. Make sure you say the drive shaft is not twisted. Next, exhaust system on this one, normally it's up here on the side. This automatic has it on here.
This is exhaust system?
So exhaust system right here.
Okay.
So exhaust system, securely mounted, no crack, no damage, no holes. Make sure you say no holes, and no drips, no leaks. Done. Next is frame. So frame, I always like to think of it, frame is the long way, cross members is across. So frame is the long way, cross members across the width. No crack, no damage, no illegal welding, no missing nuts, bolts, or parts, no missing cross members, good condition.
This
Done.
is a cross member?
No, cross member is right here.
Oh,
right
okay.
here. See, this goes across. Right there. See, it goes across. Frame is this, long way.
This is frame and this is cross member.
So frame, cross members go across. Frame is right here. Goes, there's two. One, two. Frame goes long way, cross members across. So next we have air connectors, emergency airline, service airline. Emergency is always red, service is always blue.
Emergency, this is emergency?
Yeah, this is service.
This is service. And
So,
what is it?
this is electrical line. So electrical, securely on both ends. Same with airline, securely fitted on both ends. With housings in place, hoses securely fitted. Also housings in place on this side. These are the glad hands. Glad hands, lock position, 45
It's a
degree.
glad hand?
45 degree angle. So you see 45 degree right here.
Okay.
Like that, 45 degree, that means it's in locked position. No cuts, no damage, no leaks, no bulges for the airlines, and electrical lines, no burns, no cuts, no exposed wiring, no burns.
Okay.
Good condition, works properly. And airlines not dragging, not rubbing, not dragging. There must be good, elevated,
What
good.
is this thing name?
Yeah, that's why most trucks have this. Next we have the catwalk. So the catwalk is here. So catwalk, same as the steps, securely mounted, no missing nuts, bolts, parts, clean, free of obstruction, no oil.
This all is catwalk?
Yeah. So this is catwalk. No oil, no foreign objects, not slippery. And we call this the header board. Normally it's like a triangle right here to break. That's what breaks the wind. We call this the header board. It's fine. No holes, no damage, no missing nuts, bolts, or pins.
What
So
is this thing name?
header board. So no missing nuts, bolts, or pins, no holes,
header board.
no damage, good condition. So next we have the coupling system, fifth wheel skid plate type. So fifth wheel skid plate, release arm, platform, mounting bolts. So mounting bolts are not these, but these. So the part that holds the platform is the mounting bolt. So there's 6 on each side. No missing loose nuts, bolts, or parts. No crack, no damage.
Can you speak again about
So-
what is that?
So we start with mounting bolts. No missing nuts, bolts, or parts.
Okay.
platform, no crack, no damage, no illegal welding, good condition.
And a release arm.
So release arm right here, it's in fully locked position, no missing nuts, bolts, or parts.
Okay.
And fully locked position is right here. Release would be right here. So if you pull it out, it would release the lock jaw or the sliding fifth wheel locking pin. And this is the header board. Not header, fifth wheel skid plate. So it's fifth wheel skid plate right here, the top plate, and this is the apron. Apron, no crack, no damage, no holes.
Apron?
This is apron. So from here all the way to here and across. There should be no cracks, no damage, no holes, other than the ones that are supposed to be here. So no crack, no damage, no holes, and fifth wheel skid plate. Lubricated properly, and no space between the apron and the fifth wheel skid plate. See, there's no space in between it. If there's space, that's bad. It means it can, cause some damage. Next, we have the kingpin. So kingpin is in there.
Okay.
All the way in, it goes up and down. So kingpin.
This is kingpin?
So kingpin is attached to the trailer,
Okay.
going up and down. Sliding fifth wheel locking pin.
Kingpin?
So kingpin is in there, see?
Okay.
It goes up and down.
Okay.
Sliding fifth wheel lock pin is across. So this thing across,
What is this thing name?
lock jaw or sliding fifth wheel lock pin. So lock pin, or just say lock jaw, because this is called lock jaw. So this part right here is the lock jaw.
Lock
And the
jaw.
up and down, the big bolt in the middle, is the kingpin. So next, you don't need to explain this in depth, but it's good to know for your safety. And you can explain, this is the differential. So this is a differential.
Okay.
So for differential, this is how you check the oil. There's two caps. The top one is where you would unscrew the top cap, just like you're draining oil or adding oil, except instead of adding to the engine, you'd add for the hub axle seal, you would unscrew this top one, not the bottom, but the top, and check with your finger when it's cool, not hot. Make sure it's cool. Check up top, make sure the level is about here. Make sure the axle gets lubricated so it doesn't overheat or break. I seen a guy lose both dualies because there was no oil and it overheated and broke and caused a big accident here in Portland. So next we have is landing gear. We try to go in order. Landing gear, securely mounted, no crack, no damage, no leaks. It's gear, there's gears inside, it's gear driven, 2 different gears. Raise arm is in locked position. Make sure you say no leaks, no crack, no damage, no missing nuts, bolts, or parts. Good condition, operates properly. So next we have doors and ties. We don't have doors and ties on the side of trailer, but we do have frame and cross members. So frame and cross members right here. Frame goes long way, cross members go across. So across is cross members.
Frame and cross member.
Yeah, long way is frame. So frame goes across. This is also part of the frame, so it goes long way. Cross members, across.
Okay.
So no missing nuts, bolts, or parts. No damaged or missing cross members. No damaged frame. Good condition, works properly. So next we have tandem release. We don't have it on this trailer, but there would be a release arm right here or a button you push in the air.
I have to tell the inspector?
Yes. So it slides the tandem, this rear axle, back or forth to balance the weight. It's like a teeter-totter. If you have it more forward, it evens out the back weight. If you have it more back, it evens out more, just so it's even. So not overweight on any of the axle. So you see right here, the back axle is more towards the front, and you can slide it more to the back or front depending on the weight to kind of teeter-totter it to balance the weight. All you need to do to explain on the test, say slides the axle to balance the weight. You don't have to go too much detail explaining everything. You just need to say it's tandem release is the lever or button to slide axle to balance the weight. That's all you need to say.